Hey y'all, it's Chonfelito. We got a couple of good ones here for you today. We've got Wake Me Up Before You JoJo, great name, in his IS-2. Now today we've got some heavy tank replays that I kind of wanted to show you. There's IS-2, 2 games from JoJo, and then 1 game from me and my T-29. Now first of all, on this map, if you are in a heavy tank, I strongly suggest that you go to the corner. You may take some shots getting over there, but you do want to pay attention to what tanks are available and what might be shooting you across the way. Now right here, he spots a couple of tanks. I necessarily wouldn't have stopped right here to take this shot because he does lose almost half of his hit points, about a third of his hit points, just from getting to this corner. But if you're in a heavy tank, what you're supposed to do is just hold your position. He's got this corner covered. He doesn't have to contest it. He just needs to hold everybody back from it. Now, the IS-2 does have a good front plate that it can block some shots on. But if I were him, I might get into more of a side scraping position so that he's able to use the Russian armor on that side to be able to get some shots and to be able to bounce some return shots. Now, the whole team here, the whole enemy team is spotted. So he's trying to see if there's any shots that are available. And the only ones that are over here that he might be able to get a shot on are these 4 tanks that are left over here. This VK-30, I don't know what he was doing, thinking about poking out there, but JoJo goes ahead and punishes him with some of that big derp gun that IS-2 does have. Now, being a Russian tank, it does have pretty big dispersion, so he does need to take his time to aim in, make his shots count, because he does have a 13-second reload that he does need to consider. Now, with this VK down to a 1-shot and this ARL down to a 1-shot, or 2-shot for him, he wants to try and clear these so that he can open up this flank so that he can start pushing through. Able to get in there, finish up that VK, does a great job there. As it comes down here, they are up on, it is a 6 versus 5. So he's not in too much of a strife here, but he does need to be paying attention. The pen on this gun is actually really decent as it's able to go through the ARL pretty easy. No, not really a problem at all. Now as he starts looking over here for these shots, I might have gone for that, finish up that ARL just so that he doesn't come back, because he is still taking shots on the team. So he does need to be aware of where those tanks are, who they're shooting at, and who is the most important target to get out of here. Now with a big gun, you do want to try and get that big damage shots and make your DPM count as much as you can. But if you can clear a target, just go ahead and clear it. That's going to be the best way for you to win. Right here, he's got that KB3 to deal with. He's able to get one more shot into him right here, and he gets a nice high roll of 500. That is one great thing about this, is when you do have the high roll, you can do 500 damage, which will stop pretty much anybody in their tracks and make them rethink what they're doing. Gets a nice bounce out that J-Panther. Does a great job of hiding his tank right here with that rock, and is able to get a bounce that he needs. Now, there's only 2 tanks left, but it's not too much of a deal. He takes him out there. The AMX 1375 is going to rush in. He's going to try and get the shot, but he's not going to have that reload in time. Still, great game, 3.378. He did a great job of holding that line against those other tanks. They didn't try and push up on him because they knew they were going to get punished. Great first class, 3 kills. You can see he earns a little bit of credits there, as it is a premium tank. A great game. Now on the next one, he does another great job of holding the line and choosing his targets. So as he's rolling up here, he's going to try and go up to these buildings here. Again, he tries to use the front of the tank, which is strong, but personally I would use side scraping a little bit more than he does in this replay. But to each their own, and it pays off for him in the end. Has a great game. So as he slowly trundles his way up here, he spots that MT-25, switches that HE. You know the HE can be pretty good. Is able to get a nice splash on him. I don't even know how that hit. I mean, it's Russian, so you take what you can get. And then the whole team gets spotted up. Now he starts backing down here towards this rock as this IS starts pulling up. And again, Stalin is with him on this one, because I don't know how he's able to feather these shots in with that big of a reticle on that IS's hatch, but it was a great job nonetheless. So as he rolls up here, that Cromwell decides to try and make his way across, hits the building, and regrets it very quickly as he gets sent back to the garage. Now, he sees that his team is down there dealing with the rest of the tanks, and this MT-25 can become a bit of a bother if he gets around behind them. So he's going to come and turn around to try and focus this MT-25, try and take care of him. But he does need to be careful because that MT-25 can circle him, gets a nice shot on him just as he goes out of sight, and is able to come around here and get the kill on this MT-25, which is very helpful because he sees that the rest of the team is holding that team down there and near that A cap, so he is able to stop the flank from coming around. Now his team is hanging back quite a ways, probably further than they need to be. I mean, he's got 2 mediums, he's a heavy, and he's got 1 more heavy and then a TD. So really the only person that should be back there is the TD. But nonetheless, that T-43 is going to come and help him. Now right here, he saw that IS was there, able to get a nice shot into the lower plate, but he does expose himself a little bit too far here and does take a shot in return. Now that IS is down to a 1-shot, almost everybody's a 1-shot except for that KV-3, who is full health still. You can see right here, he is red as a tomato, but he's able to switch to the APCR and get a shot right in the face. Right here, he rolls forward just so that he can't, that KV-3 has to roll forward to try and get a shot on him, but all he can see is that turret. So great job there on rolling forward just enough so that KV-3 has to roll forward, increase his radical, and isn't able to get a shot on him. Again, another nice high roll of 500 there. Really pays off when you've got a full health KV-3 to deal with. Now right here, he's got a couple of targets that he can choose from. He needs to try and deal with the lowest hit point target, someone that's going to be the biggest issue, which was that J Panther. And he does a great job of clearing him, even though he does take a splash from the KV-2. The KV-2 does have a long reload, so in the end, he's not going to be as dangerous as that J Panther would be. Right here, he's got that KV-3, definitely wants to try and take care of him. Unfortunately, he's only able to get a 439 on him, and he's going to try and finish up this KV-2 here. Now, if he's lucky, he's able to get him in 1 shot, so he decides to roll forward. He can take a shot from this KV-2, and he's, again, gets a kind of a low roll at 416. He's going to get splashed from that KV-2, but it saves that T-43 so that he doesn't die. So all in all, great game. 2 kills, and it says right there 3.6K, but if you remember, he got that blind shot, pushing him up to 4.1K. Mastery, great game, just shows how to choose your targets the best, and the heavy tanks really need to hold the line in order for that team to really do well, because as you saw, they were all hanging in the back, so he had to be that front line. Last one we got here is myself on this. I actually pulled this tank out just because it was the birthday of the tank, and I'm grinding credits to get that Sheridan. So as I pull it out, just decide we'll just do one quick game, see what we can do, see if we can get a win. Turned out to be a really good game. Nothing amazing, but it does just go to show. Now a lot of the times as you're crossing here, light tanks will jump up to that bush, so try and turn your turret to look at that bush. Don't just drive straight across, because it gives them an opportunity. Your turret's a lot stronger front on than it is going to be on the side. So make sure to turn your turret to look at that bush, even if you're not planning on shooting it, just so that it's not as easy shots for those light and medium tanks that rush up there really quick to get the shots on the heavy tanks that are crossing. Now if I can get up here into the castle here, I can really make myself useful, as I have a great turret, but I don't have a great hull, and I can use it to go hull down against these tanks. I see that Chieftain is pushing around quite aggressively, so I just want to try and deal with him as much as I can. Able to get 1 last shot into him. Now notice how I'm not pushing forward too far, because I do want to make sure that this Chieftain does get taken care of. I'm not entirely confident in my team, as they didn't push up too aggressively, and as you see, that Bulldog rams him. I don't know why, just trying to get a little bit extra damage, but I mean, it's fine. So as I come up here, this little spot right here is very, very good for any tank that has a good turret, because you can hide your hull and all you can see is your turret. And as it comes up here, you can see I go for the track shot to track him. I'm still afraid that somebody's going to be over there just to the left, up where those medium tanks usually are. So I am a little hesitant on trying to get another shot on him. But I notice that my teammates rolls around and is able to help me with his KV-3 before he gets another shot. Notice how I stick in my gun and waving it around right in his gun to try and block that shot. That's one thing that you can do to try and get the enemy to miss. Now right here, I see that AMX 1390 coming around. I was really hoping he was going to roll forward a little bit more, able to get the full HE on him. but it just doesn't happen. I roll up here to try and deal with him. I was going to go ram him. Then I see that T-28 HTC, and I decide to back off because I don't want to deal with him head on as much as I can, because it's going to be difficult. As in my HTC video, you can see he does a great job of poking just around the corner, just enough. He should have angled his tank a little bit more, used that gun arc to hide that little side bubble from me, because that's really the only part of the tank that I'm going to be able to pen. I try to find a shot, but it just doesn't happen. Now right here, I am on 485, and I am going to take a shot, but I know that I need to clear this tank so that we can go deal with the other tanks. Because if I don't clear him, then my other team might get overrun, and then I'll be left dealing with 3 versus 3, or 3 versus 1, as opposed to a 3 versus 2, which it is now. Right here, I can see that the tanks, there's 2 tanks left. They're in a pretty good position if I can muscle my way up here as slow as I can go to get up to them. Right here, I try to get another HE. I want to just try and maximize my damage, as it is my birthday, on this tank, and I unfortunately hit him right in the track. If I wouldn't have done that, I might have been able to get him down closer to a one-shot, but nonetheless, it's all I'm able to do. Now right here, I see that I have one more shot on him, and I notice that AMX is running around to try and get behind me, because I am a one-shot, or a two-shot to him, if he gets behind me. Now he keeps racing around. I don't think he realized that he's still spotted, and he goes unspotted right around that corner, but I am ready for him. If I wasn't ready for him, that would have left me on a 2 versus 1 against this VK. But luckily, I was able to be aware of my surroundings and realize what was happening, and be able to finish up those tanks before they were able to get to me. So nice little mastery, 3.6k, nothing amazing, just some good gameplay, being aware of what's going on. If you guys like these games, go ahead and give it a like, give the channel a sub if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments if there's anything specific that you want to see. Also, there is my email down in the link, or down in the description below, that you guys can send replays to. Be happy to put them up, discuss them, kind of go through good things, bad things that are going on in the replay. But again, if you guys liked it, give it a like, give it a sub, and we'll see y'all in the next one.